So, what did the mediation experience do for us? Everything. On the second day, the surgeon, within the first 24 hours, and right after that surgery, which was completed a little bit before midnight, arrived to my room, our room, and he said, Mrs. Senft, may I see you in the other room? And I said, absolutely, and I called Billy, my husband, who was down the hall with some of the other kids. We'd just been waiting, and they gathered us, and he said, your son is a quadriplegic. I said, what? I didn't even know how to spell that word. He's paralyzed, Mrs. Senft, from his neck down. A burst. A what? A quadriplegic, Mrs. Senft. But what does that mean? Well, there's very little chance he will have use of his body. He has no feeling in his arms, in his hands, or his legs, or the rest of his body. What? He's an artist. And then my first question was, can he have a family? I needed to know that. I couldn't comprehend not having a family. I remember his kindness when he said, your son is surrounded by family, which is the #1 indicator that he could recover. And I remember his candor. Your son will go to rehab for about 2 to 4 weeks, and you'll probably need to find a home that's suitable for him. A home that's open, probably 1 story. We live in a 113-year-old, 3-story building, old home in Baltimore. But it didn't matter. I wanted to know, will he get better? Not likely. He's a burst, Mrs. Senft. Burst. It's like this. You have a spinal cord surrounded by backbone. It's not a break. It's as if a sledgehammer smashed all of his bones from C2 to C5 in his cord. I tried to get most of the pieces of the shattered bone out of his cord, but there were probably still fragments. But we used the bones of a good donor, we think, and hope the match will take as we reconstruct it. We were reeling. I knew as a mediator to ask for a family conference the next morning. We met with the ICU chief who was on call. He told us, he answered questions for us, and said when he arrived, actually, this small little ancillary room, he sat down, and there are a lot of Senfts, so we were all gathered, and he said he wasn't accustomed to meetings like that, but we as mediators know how important they are.